Welcome to the party. Here we are going live, looking for some subjects to talk about. And yeah, basically, we can start out with some music, hypothetically, if I can find it. And then we'll see where it goes from there. We just have to actually load the music, it's the real thing. Here we go. Try to get Here, I'm trying to get some music going. I don't know if you can hear it all right. Welcome. Feel free to come up as a guest. Welcome. Just getting ready to have our first guest to get started. Just a quick thought in today's Rambam. In the Chabad, we have a custom to learn 3 chapters of the book of the Rambam, the Maimonides, every day. And right now we're talking about the sacrifices in the temple, how the sacrifices are done. Maaseh HaKabanos, chapter 2. And it's all about the future temple that's going to be built by Mashiach, and exactly what kind of animal sacrifices are offered, and what kind of grain sacrifices, going into the details. So all these things are going to happen when Mashiach comes. It says that if the Gentile nations knew how much the temple, the holy temple in Jerusalem, protected them with the sacrifices, then they would guard that temple with iron fortresses. It says that the sacrifices, the animal sacrifices they would do in the temple, would bring light into the world. It would sustain the world. It says that the infinite light of the Creator that was drawn out into this world through the sacrifices, it said that it's eternal. It lasts for all time. It's only that during the exile we don't really realize the effect it had, so we don't feel the light openly, but the light is still there. This is what it said during the 15th of Av discourse by the Lubavitch Rebbe I was reading recently. So the point is that the light of the sacrifices in the temple is always there. It's not always manifested because it's like a light that surpasses all the worlds equally. But ultimately, it's still there. And when Mashiach comes, we're going to have new sacrifices in the temple, new animal sacrifices, and it's going to bring peace into the world, basically. And there's going to be no more war, no more strife, nothing. Hi to the people in the comments. Hi. Nice to see if anything actually happens, hypothetically. Oh, here we are. Okay, I guess it's you. Alright, cool. Welcome. I guess you probably can't talk that loud, but welcome. Okay. Hi. What's up? Welcome to the party. Yeah, not sure what to talk about yet. But yeah, you probably have to be quiet, but it's okay. But I'm here. Inviting guests. Yeah, invited some other guests as well. Yeah, let me know, you guys, in the comments if you want to come by. I'm not sure what to talk about exactly yet, but it's not. Yeah. Here we can hear you though. I mean, probably, yeah. Even whispering is audible. Um, yeah. Before we get other guests on, I guess, is there any questions you had about anything, Judaism or otherwise, or nah? Not really. Yeah. All right. Cool. Nice. Um, all right. All right. Cool. Interesting. Okay. It's all good. Well, welcome to our new guests in the comments who are just joining us for the first time. So yeah, I mean, feel free to join and talk about random stuff, ask questions. The real question is, what's more important? Is it the question or the answer? Because really, without questions, there's no answers. But on the other hand, the answer is what actually resolves something, but a question is not actually resolved. So it's a question. It's also an answer. But the point is, oh, here we go. Someone's just joining us. I wonder who. Hi, welcome to Nach Spot.
Shalom. Welcome. Thank you.
Welcome back, or welcome for the first time, shall I say?
Thank you.
Anytime. Especially now. Nice to have you.
Thank you.
I forgot what. Maybe I saw you in the comments somewhere or something.
Yeah. I was on a couple nights ago, I think.
Oh, on my live here? Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot what we were even talking about, but
You're good.
yeah. Usually they go on for like hours. Yeah, we talked like all kinds. I mean, I don't know which one it was. Was it one with the way we were talking about like Israel and Palestine and stuff like that, or that was a different one? I don't remember. Probably like all the lives are talking about that nowadays.
I don't remember. My memory's going. I work at night, so.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was in the comments. I think it was a couple days or so, or 2 days ago. I think. I'm not 100%.
Yeah.
I was there when I was there.
I am what I am, you know. Yeah, well, nice to meet you. Yeah, you in like Israel or New York? I'm in New York, but
I'm in California.
California, that's cool. I grew up there.
Oh, nice. Same. Yeah,
cool.
born and raised there.
Nice, born and bred and other things, other food. I was, you know, Ojai. Have you heard of Ojai, California?
No.
AI off the 101. Yeah, well, this is like a small town, like you know, Ventura or Oxnard.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like 30-40 minutes like north and then east and inland a little bit. It's kind of like
okay. So you're a SoCal baby.
Yeah. You're in Northern California?
Yeah, I'm in the Central Valley area.
That's nice. Yeah, I mean, I went to Santa Barbara, which is like at the most north of Southern California or like Central California, and right after that, like the next major city over is like San Luis Obispo, which is like I used to take the drive like at least 2 hours, probably more, I think, of like nothing. It's like just desert, like or farmland. Like there's nothing in between the two.
Nice.
Cool.
No,
Yeah.
I like California. It's expensive, but it's nice though.
Yeah, I grew up like just when I was young, so I didn't really know anything about the Bills. But yeah, it happens. Yeah, Golden State, you know, the West Coast.
That's right. One of my friends attends Beth Yaakov in Oakland. It's one of the oldest shuls in California, actually.
Upstate?
Yeah, in San Francisco, or it's kind of, I think it's in Oakland, or Beth Yaakov.
Never heard of it. That sounds interesting.
Yeah, it's super cool.
Yeah, when I was younger, I went to this like summer camp called like Camp Ramah. I don't know if you've heard of it. But there was like people who were from Oakland there. I forgot who they were, but I know that they were my friends at the time. I haven't talked to them in years, but still, I just remember Oakland. subject.
No, yeah, I wasn't born Jewish. I just completed my conversion recently.
Mazel tov.
Thank you.
Not a word. That's good. That's cool. That's cool. Mikvah and everything. That's cool. It's cool.
Yeah, did everything and dunked me like an Oreo. It had the bracha and it's a good feeling.
Yeah, welcome, I guess, to say. Existence. It's like a newborn, pretty much. So, yeah, it's good. It's cool, it's cool. So, yeah, I mean, I'm not sure what exactly to talk about, but just it's good to have guests. But I don't know if you have questions or anything or whatever. I'm not sure what. But
no, I was wondering. I don't know where. I'm not trying to talk politics like at all tonight, but that's kind of what I try to avoid. But I don't know if you see. There's quite a few people, I would say, on the TikTok world that, trying to put this delicately without offending people in the comment section, basically that are anti-Zionists but identify as Jews. I just feel like is that a form of self-hating, or because I feel like it fuels anti-Semitism, in my opinion. I don't know.
Well, the thing is, a lot of these people don't even know. Like when they're protesting Israel, they don't really know. They don't know what they're saying. Like they're saying, like they're just like blurting out words like from the river to the sea, like as if it's like,
Right.
they don't actually like think about the implications of what they're protesting. So I don't know, kind of feel bad for them sometimes. I mean, that's the thing. Just like a bunch of misinformation. They just like, don't know what they're protesting. People are saying they want Israel to do a ceasefire, but they're putting the blame on Israel to do the ceasefire, but they're not actually complaining about Hamas.
Right.
TikTok because
There you go. Yeah, a friend of my rabbi actually pointed out to me that I guess that word means violence in Ivrit.
Yeah, and it's in the Torah quite a few times.
Yeah. Like, wow.
It has a few different meanings, but yeah, violence and immorality is some of them. Yeah.
Wow.
Wonder if it means the same in Arabic, or if they chose that from the Torah on purpose. Or who knows?
Yeah, I often, I wondered that myself.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, in New York one time, I was like at this like park, and there was like this big like Israeli like protest, but against the Israeli government, saying like they just want Israel to just like surrender or something like. I don't know. They were saying like ceasefire, but whatever that even means, that doesn't make any sense because Israel's not the one that needs to do that. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. They haven't really thought through like what exactly they want. It's kind of like children, they complain a lot, but they don't really know what they want. So like nothing's gonna.
Yeah. I forgot. I didn't. Forgot to ask. Are you a rabbi or just a yid?
Just a yid, as far as I know.
Nice. Nice. No, I've seen your podcast clips. That's really good too.
Not sure how many podcasts I can do, but there's we did like a 3-hour one, and just took a bunch of clips from it. But yeah, that's cool.
Nice.
Yeah, we just try to. I mean, at one point we just like got to the point where it's like we realized that. I mean, the main point, one of the messages of the Chabad is like just to spread the teachings of the Baal Shem Tov, and then Mashiach will come right away when that goes like viral. And then one of the teachings is just that Hashem was creating the world every second from His words. So if we just publicize that teaching and people know about that, then that could be enough theoretically for Mashiach to come. So I mean, hopefully it will.
Actually, I like that approach.
Yeah, the easy way out, the cheat sheet for the universe.
That's something my rabbi told me. It was like basically with every mitzvah we bring that like heaven down to earth, basically, and just be a light to other people as much as we can.
Yeah, it's played in the Chassidus philosophy that every mitzvah draws down the infinite light of the Creator into this universe and that's the main reason why he made the universe. It said before the universe, this is like from the Rebbe Rashab in the year 56, 66 in the beginning, and other places also, but he said like before the universe, it says there was the infinite light that was filling all of existence, as it's mentioned in Kabbalah. So really the infinite light was always there before, but he made the world in order that there shouldn't just be the infinite light, but that the infinite light should also be within the world itself. So like in order to create the world, he first had to hide the infinite light so that we could have like finite, distinct creations that feel like they're separate, but they still can realize the creator on their own. Then after he hides the light to create the world, then the light can be brought into the world through the learning Torah and doing the mitzvahs, which is like of essence and brings the light. Yeah.
I love Chabad Lubavitch and what you guys do. It's really, really, really good. Actually, I learned a lot of before I was even learning anything about Judaism itself. I just honestly like absorbed as much as I could through Chabad.org.
It's okay. I mean, it's not bad for now. It could be better. One day it would be just cool, just like to make an AI remake of Chabad.org, just like take all this stuff and just like make ChatGPT write it all slightly different. And publish everything.
There is an app. It's through I think Safaria, and it's like a rabbi app. Like you can ask. It's sort of like chat, like what you're saying, like ChatGPT. It's like it looks like it's a picture of Maimonides, and it shows. It's like you could ask it like any question.
What is it called? Like Rumba AI or something?
I think so. Like Rabbi AI. It's like like if you click on Safari on the Apple Store, it like showed that app as well, like type thing. So I don't know if Safari made that app or something, but it's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's the future. Rabbi AI. AI.
And it's pretty spot on. Like I'll ask it like sophisticated halakha questions, and it's like, whoa, okay.
Is it actually accurate though, or does it just make it up?
No, it actually like pulls commentary like from Rashi and Rambam and different commentary.
Did you double check it?
Oh yeah.
You did double check it, because sometimes it'll quote something from Rashi, and then if you look up that Rashi, it doesn't even say anything like that at all.
Oh yeah. I got I have a Stone Edition Chumash art scroll and regular like Tanakh. So I'll look at the commentary that it pulls it from, and then I also have it's like a Rambam Chumash, and I saw one of the commentaries from that it pulled from. So I was like, oh wow,
that's good. Cross-referencing is good. Yeah. What is it called? Rambam AI?
Or like Rabbi? It's on I'm using my iPad right now. It's on my iPad, so I can't look at it.
It sounds fun.
Yeah, it's cool.
Here's a guest to see who he is. Welcome, Aiden. Nice to meet you.
Bro's an iPad kid. Imagine using a fucking iPad. You're probably like watch Skibbity Toilet on YouTube Shorts. Is that what you're doing right now, buddy?
Not sure what that was about. You never know. It's like Dog Live is basically just like talking on the street corner. Anyone could just catch.
Oh, I know, man.
It happens to the best of us.
And like what I do is I basically do counter missionary work and defend Judaism from this perspective of the Jewish world. And like I used to do lives probably about 3 or 4 months ago, and like I would get all kinds of just crazy stuff.
That's cool. Yeah, I tried to like debate with some of the Christians a few days ago, and I don't know, it's just they still don't understand that like Mr. J is like not mentioned anywhere in the Tanakh. They're trying to like push verses and stuff. Say, oh, since it says Messiah, you must refer to him. But like, no, it doesn't make sense. I don't know.
No, I grew up Catholic, so like I know the New Testament pretty well. And so like when Christians approach me and they're like, "Well, what does this mean?" Like, well, that's a contradiction to the Tanakh. It's like you try to show them word for word like why we're monotheistic, why we don't believe in triune stuff, and just simple stuff, and their eyes are like just amazed.
Yeah. So you're like familiar with all the verses they quote from like the Tanakh
Yeah, and like different arguments and try the things that they do.
Like
It takes a lot.
something where they say like, oh, the Messiah has to come before the destruction of the second temple because it says the word Mashiach or something, but that could also mean anything. Like,
Oh yeah, I got into that debate yesterday. So maybe.
what happened to it? You want to tell me about it? I'm kind of interested in what they would say, what they said.
Oh yeah, well they couldn't wrap their head around that the Mashiach is supposed to build the physical Beit Hamidash, and this Yashket guy claims that basically where Christians get pickle, I'd say, is Jesus tries to say it's a spiritual thing, like the temple is his body or something, like crazy stuff. And I told one of the Christians on the live I was on, I'm like, well, that's not in the Tanakh. That's not what the Messiah is supposed to do.
They don't believe in the temple at all. They think it's just like metaphorical or something.
No, they're terrified of that. They think, according to them, I don't know if you ever been called Antichrist yet. That's another one. But they are terrified of the Beit Hamidash. They think that's going to be like the devil and all this crazy stuff.
Interesting. So they don't actually believe the physical third temple. What about like how do they explain Ezekiel, like chapters 40 and 48 to 48? We're talking about Ezekiel's vision of the third temple. They just ignore that, I guess.
Well, they claim it's a spiritual thing, so they don't think it's a physical one.
You know, it says like this is like what the land is going to be divided up to. Like here's the borders and the tribes and like.
Yeah, it's interesting, and like it gets even more chaotic when you get into it with there's what I don't know if you're familiar with the group, but it's called basically like Jews for Jesus or Messianic Community, which is who I debate with the most. And basically they take our theologies, or try to anyway, and our culture, and basically culturally appropriate it to fit idolatry, and it's horrible. And I try to tell them like our as Jews, our thinking is way different. We're monotheistic. We don't worship a human being. Hashem's not a man. So I mean, there's a lot of things wrong with it.
The main thing is like they put on like tefillin and stuff.
Oh yeah. They're like the whole 9 yards. They do Pesach Seders. They do tefillin. They do all the brachas. It's wild.
But the thing is, like, they accept the Talmud, or like, doesn't make any sense. Like,
no, they I don't know if you're familiar with the term called sola scriptura, which is what Protestants refer to, like scripture alone. So they try to apply that philosophy, or Protestant philosophy, onto our Tanakh. And I'm like, it just doesn't work. Because when you reject rabbinical, I told them when you reject rabbinical Judaism, you're a kafir. So.
And all the customs, like the Passover Seder, like to fill in those are all like the only places mentioned is in the Talmud. Like there's no other sources.
Right. Yeah.
The same thing with like the Karaite. Similar thing to Karaite Jews. Like they say they don't believe in any tradition of the rabbis, but then when it comes to actually doing the laws, they just like make up their own tradition. So like it doesn't make sense. Whatever.
Yeah, that's what I was talking to somebody today about the Talmudic literature, and I said to them like it's a collective. I was explaining to it as it's a collective, basically arguments, and so how can we interpret some halakha without that? That's why I was trying to show that they're terrified of the Talmud. It's really weird. I don't.
The Talmud's a great book,
No, I love it. I try to read as much as I can.
That's cool. Or school. It's good. Or for you. But they have a relatively new Steinsaltz Talmud that's online on Chabad.org. It's like
really?
it's English. It's like not really new, but it's actually pretty old. But it's newly available. It's like a different alternative English translation and explanation that's like different than our scroll, simpler and easier to read than our scroll a little bit. But yeah,
I don't know if this is true or not, but I come from the conservative side, just so you're aware. But my rabbi was telling me. I guess it takes 7 years to study the Talmudic literature.
If you read 1 page per day, but some people read more than 1 page.
Oh wow! Now, is that what I've heard a term called daf yomi? Is that the same thing?
Yeah, I mean that's when they finish it. of 7.5 years when they read a page a day. But some people read, if you read 7 pages a day, then you finish it in a year.
Oh, wow. No, I'm a study nerd, so that's all I pretty much do on my days off. So,
There's a guy that have you heard of the accidental Talmudist?
I think I've seen him in some. Is he on TikTok?
I'm not sure. He was on YouTube. It might be on TikTok.
That name rings a bell.
Yeah, I met him in person in Los Angeles. But he told me in person the story how he started. He said, I forgot why. One day he just decided he wanted to learn about Judaism, and then he walked into like a Judaica store, and then he decided like, what is Judaism based on? It's based on the Talmud, so I'm just gonna start learning the Talmud. And he took out Tractate Brachas, the first volume of Talmud, and then he goes to buy it, and the cashier said, "Oh, so you're starting Daf Yomi today?" He's like, "What? Daf what?" And then he's like, "Yeah, Daf Yomi, when people learn a page of the Talmud per day." But it turns out that same day that he just happened to walk into the store was the first day of the Daf Yomi of the 7.5 year cycle, and they were just starting that tractate that day, and the day that he just decided to walk in to buy it.
Wow. Baruch Hashem. Wow.
It could have been any of those days in the 7.5 years. He just decided to walk in on the same day that they were starting, and he just happened to decide to buy it. So after that, he did Daf Yomi a few times or something, and now he's like an expert Talmudist based on that. And he like makes YouTube videos and stuff. And he
That's what happened with me when I first walked into a shul. I had no idea what to expect, and I come from a Catholic background, and so I walk in, and they're like, "Oh, we're studying Bereshit chapter 1," and so basically they started on the Torah right then when I got in. I'm like, "Whoa!"
What about this? They showed you the Rashi and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Were there any significant differences that you realized in Rashi that you didn't realize growing up?
Huh?
Were there any significant differences or new understandings of Genesis that you got from Rashi that you didn't get growing up?
Yeah, I mean, I had to take off obviously, idolatry lenses and the Christian lenses and things like that, but Rashi, I think Rashi Rambam studying commentary on Bereshit made me understand who Hashem really truly is, and I always say Baruch Hashem for that, because I was honestly I wasn't confused, but I didn't have a strong relationship with God, in my opinion, when I was growing up. And I think now, making teshuva with Hashem, being at one with Hashem now, I feel completeness, and I feel just completely at peace. It's a peace I've never known before.
Wow. That's cool. Yeah, because Rashi explains when it says Hashem's walking in the garden, Hashem doesn't have a form, but just the voice was traveling. So people think, I guess, without that, they think that Hashem has a body or something. But yeah, definitely.
Yeah, just his presence.
Yeah, his presence and gifts.
That's what question Christians always ask me. Well, if Hashem's just a spirit, then how come he says to Moshe Rabbeinu, a blessed memory, that I'll show you your my backside? Well, it's his presence. It's not like a physical body. It's not his back.
Yeah. Not even a spiritual body as well, because spiritual is still a finite creation.
Yeah.
You learn the Rambam in the beginning of the Rambam, the foundations of Torah and stuff. Or no? Yeah. It's cool stuff. Yeah, that answers a lot of questions from other religions. Just like that one chapter.
Oh
yeah. One of the Christians always try to bring verses that imply the Creator has body, but it's all just metaphorical for spiritual presence and stuff, like we said. But yeah, basically.
I was wondering is and you're with Chabad, right?
I guess that's what they say. Right?
I was wondering is I've spoken to many Chabadniks as well as other rabbis within Chabad, I find it interesting that many of them don't practice conversion, or like if someone was like interested in becoming Jewish or something like that, and they kind of shy away from it.
I guess. Yeah. Is that a question or just a statement?
Oh no, I was just wondering why that was.
Oh, well, mainly because the Lubavitcher Rebbe was kind of like the first rabbi, arguably in history, but maybe at least in recent history, to encourage Noahides, non-Jews, to keep the 7 mitzvahs of Noah. Like there's the 613 commandments that the Creator gave to Jewish people, but then the Creator also had 7 commandments for humanity. So the Rebbe said like there's no like he was the main one to like encourage the non-Jews, the Gentiles, to keep those mitzvahs, and it says that could be like their purpose in life. And the Rambam Maimonides writes that anyone who keeps them, because Moshe received them at Mount Sinai, it's like they're one of the righteous people of the Gentiles, and they have a portion of the world to come. So the Rebbe encouraged his followers and the whole world to spread the message about that and encourage them to keep it. So there's no real need to convert from a Chabad perspective, because people could still keep the Torah just by doing the mitzvahs, the 7 mitzvahs, essentially. But if they do happen to convert, then they're fully Jewish.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And Baruch Hashem, if they decide to, that's really good.
Yeah. I think it's actually signed into American law. It's called like Education Day, or like the Rebbe's birthday is actually a national holiday. People don't necessarily know, but the 11th of Nisan, every year, every president for I'm not sure exactly how long, but for a few decades, has recertified this holiday. They don't say it's the Rebbe's birthday, but they call it Education Day. But that's what it was originally signed into law. Education Day. You could like look up Education Day Rebbe. I'm trying to find the original. Since 1978, says in Wikipedia, since 1978, Education and Sharing Day in the United States has been proclaimed by the president each year on the Rebbe's birthday on the Jewish calendar, the 11th of Nisan, which is 4 days before Passover. And so basically, in one of the declarations of that day, in 1991, it mentions explicitly the 7 laws of Noah, and that they're one of the foundations of America, and that what America is based on. It says that, and I think President Reagan also approved of the 7 laws of Noah as being part of like American society. People don't necessarily know it, but technically, like in the legislate or in I don't know legislation, but it's in the American writings.
Well, that is once I tell you, the Rebbe would be someone on my like wish list that I would love to have met.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm 28 years old now. I'm sure he probably passed away by the time I was of adult age to become Jewish, but still been
you were born
an amazing person. Who is the current Rebbe, or is there a current Rebbe of Abad?
That's the question. They say it's just the same Rebbe, you know. No one knows, whatever. Until Mashiach comes, I guess.
Okay, John.
Yeah. If you look on this, I'm trying to find them. Let me get my phone. Yeah, if you go look up like Education Day Rebbe 1991 on Google, you could find. I should bring it up because this is pretty cool. It talks about like the 7 laws of Noah being part of society. I don't think you even see it. That's weird. You can't do screen sharing on these lives. That's kind of a scam, but whatever. Here, this. Here, you can kind of see it. I'm trying to find it where it says it here, where Congress recognizes the historical tradition of ethical values and principles which are the basis of civilized society and upon which our great nation was founded, whereas these ethical values and principles have been the bedrock of society from the dawn of civilization when they were known as the 7 Noahide laws. This is on congress.gov, the American website. Whereas without these ethical values and principles, the edifice of civilization stands in serious peril of returning to chaos. Whereas society is profoundly concerned with the recent weakening of these principles that has resulted in crises that have belinger and threaten the fabric of civilized society, whereas the justified preoccupation with these crises must not let citizens of this nation lose sight of their responsibility to transmit these historical ethical values from our distinguished past to the generations of the future. A lot of people quote this as saying that this is a basis for having the 7 laws of Noah in public schools, because that's what it says as part of the American values, to transmit these teachings from the past to the future. Whereas the Lubavitch movement has fostered and promoted these ethical values and principles throughout the world. Whereas Rabbi Menachem Mendel Schneerson, leader of the Lubavitch movement, is universally respected and revered, and his 89th birthday falls on March 26, 1991. And in tribute to this great spiritual leader, the Rebbe, his 1990th year will be seen as one of education and giving. So basically, this is like an official bill, or I don't know what it is exactly. Is it a bill or it's something from Congress in 1991?
That's so cool.
Very cool, very cool. Today's will be.
I even saw that the Rebbe helped promote WIC. Even
What's that?
it's basically helping. There's a black congresswoman in Kentucky that wanted to help the African American community that like in the ghettos and people that were hungry and things like that. So basically, it's a organization that is basically like EBT, but it's like cash for not frozen items, but for heated items and things like that, and milk and stuff
cool.
like that. So people have basic necessities.
Like restaurants and stuff.
Not restaurants, but like they can go to grocery stores and they can go to gas stations and get food. So basically, it was like the first starter up of like EBT.
Oh, before EBT.
Yeah.
I think was that you're saying that's what the Rebbe did. I think the Rebbe did that.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, I thought it was just EBT directly, but I guess it was WIC first. I think he worked for like the American military or something, like engineering, but I'm not sure if it's publicized what he did. I think they used to like come to his office and people didn't really know what they was doing. But he was like an electrical engineer, basically. And I think he was working with him on some stuff that may still be secret. But I don't know, I heard from an unverified source that he was like designing the torpedoes that they used in World War II, but I'm not sure if that makes any sense because he started working for them like after World War II. So I'm not sure exactly. I don't know.
That's cool.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean, America used to be like pretty moral, like a very moral country technically before like all this stuff happened, in Obama's time and whatever. But yeah, I mean, once like the same gender marriage came in, then it kind of went downhill from there. I guess. I don't know if that was the point, but it was. Maybe 9/11 also. There was a lot of scandals in there. Not big. Yeah, but in the 90s, I mean, it was pretty good when the Rebbe was there. In the late 80s and 90s,
Wow. And I see a lot of his. I don't know if it's Zedekah that he's doing when he gives I see a custom where he gives $1 to people and he gives them wisdom.
Yeah, on the Sundays for about 5 years or so, every Sunday, he would just stand outside of his office or outside 770 and just give $1 to everyone who would pass by, and there'd be like thousands of people like out the street just waiting to get that $1.
Wow.
And he would give them like blessings and success. Then usually they would give people would keep the actual dollar, and then they would give other money as a substitute to tzedakah, basically.
Wow.
So yeah, people still have the dollars now, and they're like really valuable, I guess. But I don't know. Technically, he gave them out for people to give away the dollar, but I guess people kept the dollar anyway.
I can see why. It's like, oh my gosh, the Rebbe gave me $1.
Yeah, makes sense. And I heard of some guy who was like an older guy. He had like more than $100 Rebbe or something in a bag, and then he was like moving out or something, and then the landlord like took the bag or something, and then like all the dollars were lost and whatever. But maybe they were like, I guess maybe the dollars wanted to be like redistributed in the economy, so now all the money's held in because you don't know which dollar you're getting. I guess. But yeah, it's a special thing to give tzedakah, even just like a little bit at a time. They said just to give like doesn't have to be a whole dollar. Dollar's a lot technically, but it could be like even like a dime or a nickel per day, like before davening or something. And the main thing is, I mean, in Chabad it talks about like giving like a lot of tzedakah, even if it's like a little bit at a time. But it's like the frequency of how much is given is important, as opposed to just a big lump sum. So, yeah.
Interesting.
Very interesting. And, yeah, I mean,
That's something my rabbi was. He gave a drash on it actually last week.
oh yeah,
On Shabbos, and we're discussing like different ways to give tzedakah, and like my biggest one is like giving food to the homeless and things like that, and like when I can, and if I feel led to.
yeah, that's definitely important. Yeah, man, I was thinking just they should have like throughout the world, just like instead of like food pantries, they should have just like public kitchens that just have like unlimited free food for all. I mean, it wouldn't be that expensive. It's expensive, but technically, it could be done if like it's super rich people just donate to it. Imagine it's like every few blocks, they're just like places you could go in 24 hours a day and just get like unlimited food. It would kind of put restaurants out of business, but I don't know. What do you think about that? It's kind of radical, but
No, I agree. I mean, I was talking with my friends who are Christian, and I was telling them they're like, I see a lot of you guys have mega churches, and they got like coffee shops in them and gym memberships, and I'm like, you should be using that for righteous work. You know, so I mean, I may not agree with their theologies and things like that, but like shouldn't a church be a organization to help people? Like, you know, in my opinion,
yeah,
they don't like that very much.
yeah, I guess synagogues would have it as well, I guess. Or yeah, I mean, I don't know. As long as it's there, it could be there. Yeah, I mean,
Actually, what's cool is before Sukkot, by synagogue we give like fruit and vegetables and like bread and whatever bagels and things like that to the homeless every like for about a week or so. I think it's really cool.
1 week a year or just 1 week total?
Usually before Sukkot.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah, I mean, in Crown Heights, they have this guy named Moshe Rabashkin. He like he rents out like half of a street, and he puts a giant sukkah, and outside the sukkah he has like just hot food like on these like burners just sitting there like 24/7.
Wow.
Like a bunch of workers like constantly making new food, and then just replacing it. He has like scrambled eggs, like soup, chicken, and stuff. It's just like sitting there, like on these like outdoor burners, literally all the time. And anyone from the street could just like walk in and take it. Pretty intense.
Yeah, that's one thing. Like people ask me why I chose to choose a Jewish lifestyle. I say, you know, what I admired the most from the Jewish community that I'm in now. They're my family now, but it's the amount of love and education that I receive from them. I can never thank enough, and I carry that with me, and memories of my friends and my family. Like that's it's just amazing, and that's what I admire about the Jewish community. Honestly, even though we've been through so much and continue to go through so much, that we continue to be a light to other people.
Yeah, that's cool, definitely. Yeah, Ahavas Yisrael, as they say. Yeah, it's interesting. There's some places it says like that love your fellow man is the foundation of the whole Torah, but then what about the other commandments that don't involve that, like putting on tefillin or like other mitzvahs between the Jew and Hashem? But it says that really, in order to love someone as yourself, you have to like realize the root source of everything, how it's all like one.
Mm-hmm.
in order to realize that everything is one, it's through doing the other commandments as well. All the other commandments, like draw down the light of the creator of the world, which reveals the unity and everything. So it's like the idea of like loving your neighbor as yourself. In order to do that, you have to realize how everything is one, and in order to realize how everything is one, it's through the other commandments. That's why I like it. Was it Rabbi Hillel, I think, who was like someone stood on one foot. He said, "Teach me the whole Torah on one foot," and he said, "Just love your neighbor as yourself."
That was Hillel.
Yeah, he said, "Like love your neighbor as yourself. This is the whole Torah, and the rest is commentary." But then he said, "Go learn." Not that people usually skip out the last part and say, "Oh, the rest is commentary, so I don't need to learn it." But no, that's like in order to realize how to love someone as yourself, then you have to realize the commentary, which is to realize everything is one Hashem, and that's like the commentary. A lot of commentary to explain to get to that. So yeah.
My previous rabbi, blessed memory, before he retired, he did something that, and I'll never forget this. We're in study. There's probably about 6 of us, and he throws the chumash on the table in the middle of the table, and like, what did I just do? I'm like, wait, you just threw your chumash on the table. What do you mean? He's like, no, if it's just the value of chumash is when I open it. If I just throw it on the table, it's nothing. Like, huh? And I didn't know what he was trying to say, but then I realized, like, oh, you're saying we need to apply the chumash to our actual life instead of just reading it like a newspaper. He's like, yeah. So he's like, anyone can just throw the chumash on a piece of paper, and when someone finds something valuable, like other people would find money valuable, expensive houses valuable, expensive cars, we value the Torah. We value chumash. I'll never forget that. Like, wow.
Yeah, definitely. That'll show us besides for everything. Yeah. Do you have any like questions that you haven't asked anyone yet, or that you were maybe delaying asking until now?
Yeah, I have one. It's just kind of a personal spiritual one, but I think I feel like Hashem is putting this on my heart to ask. Is when my mother passed away a year ago, when I was in the middle of my conversion, it was thank you. It was a very difficult moment in my life, and I almost gave up studying Judaism altogether. I didn't open my Chumash. I didn't open a Siddur. I didn't even talk to Hashem at all. And I don't know what it is, but I don't know if it's something I still need to make teshuvah for. I know I made teshuvah already with the community that I completed my conversion in, but it's just I don't know why that still that period of my life still bothers me.
What, when your mother passed away? You're saying you shouldn't?
I mean, when I was angry with Hashem, I didn't even study Chumash. I didn't study Torah like as much as I used to when I was in the beginning of my conversion, and then when I made teshuvah, I kind of, in a way, pushed a lot of people away in my congregation, and I've asked for people I apologize to them and told them kind of what was going on in my life, and I feel like it's still something that Hashem is working on me with, but it's just that knowing that I was angry at Hashem like that still bothers me. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, just based on experience. So basically, not sure, but it happens. It's the best of us. But yeah. Basically.
How long you been on TikTok now?
Well, I made the account like I think a little more than a year ago, but I wasn't really active like at all until like a few months ago, pretty much.
Nice,
So,
nice.
yeah, I was on YouTube for a while, but also being active kind of fluctuated a lot. But yeah, I try to make new videos about Mashiach and redemption, and just I don't know, I just believe that when at least one teaching of the Baal Shem Tov goes viral, then Mashiach will come. Basically, so that's what I'm trying to do. Just get at least one,
That's
maybe
good.
2 teachings viral, and hopefully they'll go viral, and then Mashiach will come. Yeah. And all the problems in the universe will be solved forever.
Man, I'm excited for that day. I can tell you that.
Yeah. Yeah, so many other things go viral in the world, so why not? What matters,
The world definitely needs Mashiach now. I can tell you that.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's just like essentially just. I mean, it'll be the same world, but just like the massive shift in like knowledge. Knowledge is pretty much the thing holding it back. Once people have the knowledge, then like everything else will fall into place.
Yeah, I don't know if you notice this too. Maybe just with the rise of technology, is I see more and more young people drawn to Judaism, which I think is interesting.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, people use it just to think that it's for like only old people or something, but no, I mean, it's just like the old people are the ones who are not in it, and then the younger people are like, it's like the new hip thing to do, like, kind of.
That's good.
Yeah, Chabad has like the C-Teen program where it's like it's for teenagers, and it's grown like exponentially over the past like 10 years or so. I think they have like more than 3,000 people, at least 3,000 teens. I mean, but in comparison, maybe it was more actually. Actually, it was a lot. I know that in comparison to what it was, it's like growing. And there's also like other programs from other like Orthodox groups. Might be like I forgot exactly how many thousand, but it's growing like exponentially, like year to year, basically. And not everyone is counted, but there's like a lot of teens involved in Chabad. One of my rabbis from California, he like goes to 3 different high schools throughout the week, and he makes pizza from scratch. Like he has a pizza oven, he makes like this kosher pizza, and he brings it. He makes like huge amount of pies, and he gives it to all the students, and then he teaches them about like Judaism stuff. And, like,
That's cool.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, no, there's like in the Chabad they have like this program C-Teen, and then there's like 1 week a year, or one Shabbat a year where they come in to Crown Heights, and there's like a huge crowd, and then afterwards they go to Times Square, and they actually they rent out like the main area of Times Square with like all the billboards and stuff, and they have like all like Chabad stuff on the billboards, and like the C-Teens are all gathered. Pretty cool.
No, that's what's cool. Is like when I first started doing this on TikTok. Are you familiar with Rabbi Tovia Singer?
I heard the name. I'm not sure exactly who he is though.
He is a counter missionary. He defends. He works with Jews for Judaism by Rabbi Michael Skobek. I don't know if you're familiar with that name.
I'm familiar with Jews for Judaism, but I'm not sure who the other guy. But yeah, I mean, I've heard about it.
Yeah. That basically they work together, or they kind of work together. But he was basically encouraging me when I met Rabbi Singer in Dallas. It was a privilege to meet him and speak to him in talk Torah. And he's like, you know what? He's like, I'm no spring chicken. He's like, I'm 67 years old, and there needs to be the torch needs to go to the younger people. And he's like, you guys need to go on TikTok. You guys need to go on YouTube, and basically do what he does, like on a micro level. I'm like, whoa. So it's a lot of work to do counter missionary work, but I think to preserve Jewish identity is very important, right? Especially in times right now.
That's cool. That's cool. Yeah, earlier we had like some like Muslims and Christians, which I mean, it's kind of a similar idea with the Muslims counter missionary. They don't usually try to proselytize, so it's a little different, but
Right.
Yeah.
No, it's not proselyte. Like basically we're just Jewish education. So basically, if someone has questions or something, like if it's coming from a place of good intention, then we'll answer the question. But if it's organized debates, I'll sometimes do that, but very, very rare.
Yeah, it's hard to really be organized if it's just the people who are running it are usually just one-sided. Anyway.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah, I got a good question actually. I don't know. I'm not sure how I feel about this, but
yeah, go
I
ahead.
just want to see your perspective. I keep seeing a lot on TikTok of people that are not Jewish. They're not exactly Christians, and they're not no-hides, but they feel led to keep the Torah. Like they try to apply the mitzvot to them when most of the mitzvot apply to Israel. Are you familiar with what I'm speaking of, or?
Still there?
Yeah, you froze a little bit.
Oh, weird. I don't know why that happened. Yeah, I mean, I just think it's like inspiration, but kind of like unguided inspiration, and we should just be the ones to guide it, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, the whole world is pretty much searching for something new. They know that the secular world has pretty much lied to them, you know.
Oh yeah.
I went to like public school and everything, like secular everything. Growing up in California, it's pretty brutal, you know. The California public school, as you may know.
Oh yeah, I was homeschooled, so.
That's good. That's good. Yeah. I went to like every type of school possible. Like I grew up like when I was young. I went to like this Montessori private school, and then I went to like a charter school, and then I went to regular public school, high school. So, and then I went to yeshiva, Jewish school. So like I literally went to like every possible kind of school imaginable and beyond.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's a school. Yeah, the secular schools, like they don't even teach you anything about Judaism, about the Jews or anything. It's like maybe like one tiny paragraph in out of the whole textbook, and then they just ignore all the prophets. They ignore like the temple. I think that's one of the reasons why there's so much like propagated misinformation, because people like they're not even taught anything in the school. They're just taught like total lies about like yeah.
And that's what, you know, it blows my mind. So like to no end, like how someone can like just blindly support a group like them, you know, and like with the atrocities that they do to women and children and
innocent men. Also, people don't talk about the men. Innocent men are also just as. I mean.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But anyways, especially women and children. But yeah, definitely.
Oh, I know. I didn't hear about Hirsch Goldberg until this morning, and I was just crying in my car. I was like just sitting there for like an hour. I was just horrified. That's just, that's the thing. Like, it just blows my mind. Like, how can you support people that do that to our people? You know, it's like I don't get it.
Yeah, totally logical. I mean, when it comes to like some crazy person like kidnapping like kids in America, like even if it's just one person kidnapping one person, then that's like a really big deal. You know, that's like huge punishments. The police are working on it like nonstop. But then when it comes to like hundreds of people being kidnapped by the most brutal, savage people, all of a sudden like people are just like, it's not a big deal. Like, dude, it's like it's the biggest deal. I just don't get it.
And what? I guess my question is why? What was the motive of the hostage situation? Like, I wasn't really. I knew about October 7th, but I don't have a TV in my house, so I try to not watch the news when I can, get just so negative and violent. And I mean, I knew about October 7th and things like that, but what was the motive? Like, did they ever say why they captured Israelis like that?
Well, they want to release more of these violent terrorist prisoners that Israel has, because like when these guys commit huge T acts, then they get arrested for their terrible crimes, and then the reason why this happened mainly is because there was an earlier incident, I forgot when, but a few years back, where I think Israel offered like 10,000 prisoners in exchange for one Israeli hostage. You know the name? Do you know that details of that case?
I've heard of it. I'm not familiar with like history of all that. Like I hear snippets. Like sometimes my rabbi will talk about, but that sounds familiar.
Yeah, it happened a few years ago. I don't remember all the details. Also, I think I was little, but basically, one of the people who was, I mean, a lot of the prisoners who were released then are the people who did this attack now, and they said like, oh, since the Jews are going to just release all of our prisoners if we just have one hostage, so if we have hundreds of hostages, then we could just have all of our prisoners released. And the prisoners are like actual violent criminals that commit horrendous acts, terrible, horrendous acts. And they wanted to get them all released. And then they just had all this propaganda saying like, oh, Israel's just arresting people for no reason and stuff. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, it's so easily debunked. Just look at any of the cases. No one has ever been able to point to one person that's been arrested for no reason. That every single one of them has violent crimes before they're arrested. But there's so much misinformation. They're trying to like convince all this like pointless audience saying like, oh, Israel's just taking hostages and arresting people for no reason, when really they're just arresting violent people who like massively unalive people. And they want all those people to be released so they can commit more acts of terror. I mean, that's like it doesn't make any sense why people would support that.
No, yeah, and like I know my rabbi did tell me that, like, we kind of covered like a brief like probably for like 2 months of like basic Israeli history, and what struck me was that I guess the Hamas group, I call them Hummus.
Hummus.
Or hummus, or yeah.
Yes.
Basically, the founders were part of the PLO or something, or like that was a group that was prior to this one. Like, oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, the Palestinian Authority or something. Yeah.
Interesting.
The Muslim Brotherhood. It's all the same thing, the same group as ISIS, I think. I don't know, similar group at least. The Muslim Brotherhood, I think they're all around the same stuff. Pretty sure.
And there's a correct me if I'm wrong, there's another group in Lebanon, right?
Yeah, I don't even know.
Oh well.
I don't even know. There's like that guy, the son of Hummus, who you heard about him?
Oh yeah. He became a Christian, and he's like talking about all like the atrocities that he grew up hearing and seeing, and he totally exposed them.
Yeah, and people still don't believe him. They say he's just like some agent hired by the IDF or something, like to make stuff up. But they won't even accept the evidence, like if it slapped them in the face.
Yeah, I've talked to a lot of people, especially at my school, about this. Is how would we re-educate people just like that grew up in that area, got in the Gaza Strip and in the West Bank, and exposed to just radical stuff? I feel like it's just so generational it's just a generational hate that they don't even know why they're like really hating. You know?
Yeah. I think they're taught. I heard like there was this guy who went like from jihad to Jew. He had like a boom on his strapped to his chest, prepared to like do an act. But then I think like the IDF, like he got injured and the IDF like brought him in and saved his life or something, and then he converted to Judaism afterwards, and it was like a whole story.
Wow.
He was on one of the lives earlier. He was like talking about what he saw growing up, like how the kids are just like influenced to like I forgot what he was saying, but he was like toy weapons or something, but like to practice on like the Jews. They're taught from like a very young age to try to like violently fight against just the Jews. Just for no reason.
Yeah, and I tell you, it's so heartbreaking. And I tell people like I feel empathy on honestly both sides in a way, because like the people are suffering from radical ideology and our people are suffering as well. So it's kind of a 50-50, but I mean it's just you can't rationalize with radicals that want to destroy you for your existence.
Yeah, there's never going to be compromise, and yeah, I just don't understand why people were like demanding Israel. Like, just I was talking to someone like, on the live a couple of days ago. He was like, first he was saying like, yeah, I agree, Israel should exist, but they also need to do like a ceasefire. I'm like, oh well, like what would happen? Like what would happen then? Like they just don't know. And I don't know, they oppose Israel's response October 7th, but then when we ask what else should they have done, there's no response. They said, oh, they should have just given in to the demands of H group, but like it doesn't make any sense.
Man,
they're saying like the only thing that Israel could do is just listen to anything H group says to do without any retaliation. Like, it's not even, there's no logical explanation. It's just crazy.
are you familiar with the? I don't even call it news, honestly. Al Jazeera.
The what?
It's a news agency called Al Jazeera, I think, or something, or Al Jazeera or something. And
Not sure if I've heard of that, but it sounds interesting.
But they posted a recording of a IDF soldier calling his family before he was murdered, or unalive. Sorry.
Oh wow, that's brutal.
And it's just, like all over like the Free Pallies like TikToks, and I'm like, why would you post that? Like it just I just feel like people are just getting so immoral now. It's just it's weird probably to say this, but it's just it looks like it's literally a fight, in my opinion, between good and evil. Like that's the only like logical thing I can think of, or words to describe what I'm seeing.
Yeah, total craziness and evil. I mean, yeah. I mean, the main thing is just I just don't know why so many people accept them. I mean, if they themselves are an extremely weak military, like but Israel's just like so like chained down by like the pressure from like people. That was like the place where the hostages were actually found. So it just, I don't know. I think Israel should just not even listen to anyone else. But it's hard because, I don't know, it's hard to say no, but still what they should do.
Well, I think what I tell people all the time, what people don't realize is this group that the Israeli Defense Forces are fighting so hard against is they're hiding in civilian targets. They're hiding behind them. So it's like you're fighting a ghost in a way.
Yeah. I saw a video that was on what's going on WhatsApp. It said like on October, they went to like IDF soldiers went to this preschool on the board, you can see that they wrote like October 6th on the board, and then like right next to the preschool, literally in the same building, there's a tunnel for like one of the terror tunnels with rocket launchers and stuff in the same building. Preschool.
Oh well.
So it's pretty brutal.
I know. I saw it. My rabbi was telling me that I guess the UK sent the PLO in the 90s, or this is like 2000s during the Clinton administration, or the Bush no, it would have been the Bush administration. Sent, I guess, pipes for water, and what's sick, what they end up doing, instead of using pipes for the water, they used it for rocket propelled grenades, like basically,
I heard about it.
Or something.
And then they don't have any water now, I think, but the reason why is because they used it for that. I'm not sure exactly.
Uh-oh, you froze again.
Just bring up. Maybe I freeze when I bring up the new pictures. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what people try to claim like Gaza really wasn't was still oppressed because Israel controlled their water or something, but I think the reason for that was just like what you said, because they took all the water pipes with their own and yes.
No, I watched a couple days ago. I think Ben Shapiro gives an excellent basically whole history from 1948 till the Bush administration on what basically the PLO did to Israel. Whoa, dang.
1948, that's a long time.
I mean, he breaks it down in 20 minutes. I don't know how he did it, but it's just wow.
Well, that's on his YouTube channel, Ben Shapiro?
Yeah.
Recently? Interesting.
Oh, no, it came out 4 years ago? 3 years ago? Something like that.
Interesting. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff. I mean, I don't understand what their original narrative is. They're just trying to say Israel came in from Europe and just told everyone to get out. Is that that's what they believe happened?
I don't know what your thoughts on this are, but with all the campus encampments that we're seeing, what do you want to bet that probably 85% of those are not actually students?
Yeah, there's some of them who got arrested were older, old men or something, in their 30s or 40s or something.
Wow. So, now, would Columbia and obviously Berkeley here in California is doing them, would they have any legal action taken towards that?
I don't know, man. Maybe. Ask the lawyers. I mean, yeah. Hopefully they will. Yeah, it's craziness. Well, I'm really kind of tired actually. I was up all night. But might go to bed soon. And it was nice talking to you.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you for having me. Mazel tov.
Yes. Mazel tov or Boker Tov.
Boker Tov. Yeah, thank you.
All right, I'll see you. We'll talk soon. All right, see you guys. It's been fun.